Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today actually we're going to go over and review what I consider my top formal event scents. Now formal event can mean weddings, it can mean bar mitzvahs, it can mean baptisms, it can mean extremely formal business events. Basically most events where you would consider absolutely dressing up in a full suit, full tie, three-piece suit, or in your best dresses. If you are so inclined, or basically upscale scenarios. That's basically what I'm trying to actually get to. So this is actually going to cover those scents. Now, one thing that's actually different in this one is I'm not actually going to be going through like I do with most of my lists and give you a top 10 or top 20 or whatever the case may be. I'm going to run you through pretty much all of the scents that I've kind of used for these scenarios, why I kind of use them, why I might not choose to use them, and what maybe the reaction was when I wore them to certain scenarios, okay? Now, one last thing to keep in mind is this is my list. This is nobody else's list. These are just the scents that I chose to actually go ahead and wear. And by all means, if you've got more scents that you personally choose to wear to weddings or personally choose to wear these formal events, please feel free to list it down below. The purpose of these videos is to help everybody out when choosing scents. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get into these scents. I've got a lot of scents, so I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can through each of them. Not too rushed, hopefully. So let's start with the first one. The first one is my summer favorite, and that is Bergamote 22. Now, Bergamote 22, because it's my favorite, it happens to be something that you can wear for formal events easily. Personally, I've worn this one to weddings, and I've also worn it, just as casual and as casual as can be. I should say I've never gotten a compliment on this one when going to a wedding, but most of the time when I go to weddings, I'm not looking for compliments. I'm looking to be a little bit more in the background. I have said, or we just got to talking about fragrances at the one wedding that I did wear this one, and everyone that was there said that I smelled great. But those were solicited, so I mean we happened to be talking about fragrances, so I'm not going to really count that as quote unquote compliments. But either way, this is definitely a very nice fragrance to use for those. It's got this very nice citrus, cedary type of a scent, and it's a little bit more on the stronger side. So that's why, as of recent, I guess you could say, I don't really choose to wear this one to weddings at least. Now, formal events, business, maybe I might kick it up and crank it up a little and go ahead and put this on. But other than that, not really. Next one is a recent purchase, and that is another one from, not another one, one from Creed, and that is Jardin Amalfi. This is the flacon. This one it's apple, florals, a little bit of musk in it, and it's very laid back, is what I'm trying to say. And this one is one that I actually plan on wearing to the wedding that's upcoming this weekend that I actually happen to be flying to. The reason that I think it's going to do well is because it's very laid back, and it's more, especially after it's been on your skin, because it only lasts about, let's say, like 6-ish hours on my skin, anywhere between 6 and like 9. But either way, it really begins to lose its, projection power throughout the fragrance. And I, again, really don't want to be projecting when I'm going to weddings, and so that's why I will be choosing this one for the scent this weekend at least. Next one, Creed Aventus. Now, this is a fragrance that I have not worn to a wedding yet, and I actually have not worn to a formal event yet. It always comes up in the discussion when I'm thinking, okay, Aventus could be one that I wear, and that's because it's so well-rounded that you can wear it in the summer, you can wear it in the winter, you can pretty much wear it anywhere, and Aventus will do well. And I think the reason why that I shy away from wearing Aventus for any of these events is because of the fact that Aventus, it has projection and it has staying power, and I'm not really looking to scream at anyone when wearing it. So that's why Aventus has never really taken off on the formal route. But I do think that it would, do well. If you're not too concerned about, screaming and shouting a little bit louder than I might like, I think Aventus would be a very good match for a formal scent. Next one on the list, we have from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, the One. This fragrance I've worn to high up or upscale business events especially, and sometimes some Christmas parties where it's been a little bit more upscale. And I'm telling you, this one is absolutely magical. It's magical to the point where even men ask you what is what it is that you are actually wearing, because they want to buy it for themselves and they want to use it as well too. Don't be fooled by the fact that, you know, its performance isn't always cracked up, what a lot of reviewers say, which is true. Its performance isn't as great as it could be, but it does get the job done. And people do smell you, and I think it's just enough that you can wear it to these formal events. So this has been a heavy compliment getter, and this has done excellent in those formal events. Next one, from the House of Chanel, we've got Platinum Egoiste. Now, Egoiste is one, this is a classic, right? It's one that, especially if you wear it around older people, they're probably going to be able to smell you and be able to kind of at least pinpoint that you smell familiar, but they're not exactly sure what you smell like. And it's probably for that reason that this never really makes the cut, even though it's always in the discussion for, at least the discussion in my head, for what I'm actually going to wear for a formal event. So I just put it on there just to let you know that this is definitely one to take a look at for a formal event scent. It's very practical, it's very well-rounded. Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. Next one is one of my top for, I guess you could say, business events. And this is something, it's Strellson No1. This is something that I wear when I absolutely don't want to offend people. This is one of the most inoffensive scents that I've ever come across. And for that reason, it's so inoffensive that I choose to wear this one on interviews. Interview isn't a formal event, but that's to kind of give you the class or what the picture is that I'm trying to think of when wearing this one. That's this scent. So Strellson No1. Next one, oh sorry, and it's also a very light vetiver based citrus scent. Next one from the House of Creed, another one from the House of Creed, there's a couple. Creed's Royal Oud. This is, let's see, really the only oud based, yeah, this is really the only oud based fragrance that I choose to wear at formal events. Oud isn't a scent that I'm comfortable wearing around you know, weddings or formal events. And the reason being is because oud can go either one of two ways. People can either love oud, or they can say that it smells like rotting wood. Creed's Royal Oud doesn't really smell like oud at all. It's a fresh oud, if anything. And so for that reason, I feel it's safe enough to wear. It's got a really nice, classy type of a vibe to it, and that I have worn this to a wedding already, and it's done extremely well for that scenario. So Royal Oud, it's a citrusy, it's got an oudy, a fresh oudy type of a vibe to it, and highly recommend it for weddings and for formal events. Next one from the House of Christian Dior, we've got Eau Sauvage. Now this is one that I have actually chosen to wear to business upscale events, and it has actually done pretty well for there. Like I think I wore it to a, what is it? It was like a product launch or something like that. But either way, I wore it to it. It did absolutely fantastic. I thought it did fantastic. I didn't get really much compliments for it. It's got like of a bitter type of a vibe, but I think it's got like a really nice, mature type of a vibe to it, despite the fact that it's a little bit more on the citrusy side. So it's a little bit of a sour citrus. All right. Next one, we've got one that is my summer wedding go-to scent, and that is, D600. I should cover that up. There we go. D600 from the House of Carner Barcelona. Now, this one, it's a light, powdery scent that has this Mediterranean vibe to it, and for that reason, it does absolutely fantastic. This is a compliment getter. This is one that if you spray on, people are gonna really go to you for it. Now, one of the downsides with this one that I found is when you spray it, if you're gonna be on the dance floor at a wedding, be sure that it's gonna be after, I would say, be sure that's going to be at least like 6 hours until you get to the dance floor. Otherwise, it can be a little bit too overpowering. After about 6 hours, when it starts to lose its punch, then it becomes a little bit more manageable, and if you're on the dance floor, it really doesn't matter. All right? Carner Barcelona's D600. Next one is a scent that I've worn to an outdoor wedding. It's done absolutely fantastic. It is none other than Creed's Virgin Island Water. Stinking. There we go. Virgin Island Water. All right, Virgin Island Water. This is coconut rum. This is a coconut rum, basically, is what this smells like. And to be honest, it smells good, but it really smells like you've been drinking. And at a wedding, most of the time you've been drinking anyway. And it just adds a nice little kick to it, a nice little vibe to it, a little bit of spiciness, and it does absolutely fantastic for those scenarios. Virgin Island water. I'm actually going to take this one with me on the wedding that I'm going to this weekend, which is in Florida. So this will be one of my scents that I wear there. Probably not to the actual wedding, but yeah. Next one, from the House of Chanel, we've got Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel is another staple, one that is very similar in my eyes to Creed Aventus in that you can wear it to almost any scenario that you can really think of. It's highly versatile in that matter. You can't go wrong with wearing it. That said, it is a little bit too powerful for my wedding tastes. I think it's a little bit better for a formal event where it's a more business-like event, but going on dancing, formal dancing events, I think this actually does really, really, really well. All right, Bleu de Chanel. Next one, another oldie. We've got L'Odyssée by Issey Miyake. Now, why is this one on the list? Well, simply put, it's on the list because of the fact that it's a very clean scent. It's very sharp. You can't go wrong. You're going to smell good. Not many people are going to think you smell bad. It hasn't actually made it onto the list because other scents have already supplanted it, I guess you could say, in the pecking order, and it never really comes up. So I do think it's a good scent, but I have not worn it to those occasions of formal events. All right. Next one, from the House of Guerlain, we've got Guerlain's Vetiver. Guerlain's Vetiver. This is a citrus-based vetiver scent. It's a very nice citrus-based vetiver scent. It's one of my top ones that I wear for business occasions, but you can really wear it for the wedding, for business occasions, for formal events, perfectly fine. It's a very clean scent, and people are going to love it when they smell it on you. This is a compliment getter, and that is definitely one thing to keep high on the nose. Next one, from the House of Frappin, L'Humaniste, or Humaniste. I'm not sure which one. I'm bad at pronunciation. I'm sorry for that. But either way, gin and tonic. This is one a little bit more on the lighter side, and I do like wearing this one to weddings just because this is one that I go nuts, spray all over. By the time you're on the dance floor, people are complimenting you left and right. This is definitely one for the ages. Humaniste, an excellent wedding scent. Still debating whether I'm going to take this with me on the vacation, but we'll see what happens. And the final two scents are both from the House of Thierry Mugler. We've got Pure Malt and Pure Havane. Now, these are more on the powerful side, and again, these I have not worn to a wedding yet, just because they're a little bit too powerful for my taste. That said, Pure Malt happens to be, as of right now, my girlfriend's favorite, so it's possible that I could wear this one to some wedding upcoming in the near future, especially if it's in the winter, but I definitely will at least wear it to a formal event. And Pure Havane, since it kind of follows the same rung, I've kind of thrown this one in here as well. All right, now let me know what your suggestions are for wedding day scents. Feel free, put it down in the information. People look at those comments and they use that as well to help formulate their experiences. Let me know what your experiences are with some wedding day scents as well too. All right, thank you, take care of yourselves, and you all have a great day.